Pack members, thanks for joining in. Thanks for staying fit and active. Thank you sincerely to the Legacy members who are continuing to pay your membership during this crazy time. You can find videos like this at tremontathletic.com under our Train at Home tab. There's an option to make a donation using the button below, completely optional, but just so you know, any of the donations you make will go to any of the people making these films. We all are used to, at least for myself speaking, so used to being here with you guys, out bouncing around teaching, so I'm getting bored at home, and I'm really grateful to have the chance to share a practice with you here today. So today we'll practice a yoga practice similar to what you might find on a Wednesday night here at Tremont Athletic. We'll have a powerful Vinyasa-based practice. We'll be moving with our breath and pausing in some moments for stillness. So grab a mat if you have a block, some water, and a towel, and we will get started. Find child's pose with your big toes touching and your knees spread wide. Drop your forehead down toward the floor, or if it doesn't touch, you can make fists and use your hands to stack your forehead and relax your upper body. Begin to deepen your breath, inhaling through your nose, expand your chest and your belly. Open up your mouth, feel them fall. And then again, now breathe in through your nose, fill up your back side of your body. And open your mouth, let it out. Now keep your mouth closed. Ujjayi breath in through your nose and out through your nose. With a slight constriction at the back of your throat. Come on up to tabletop. Spread your fingers really wide. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Drop your head to look back toward the space between your legs. And pedal your feet one at a time. Yeah, whatever feels good to warm up the backside of your body, and then keep pushing forward and down into your hands. Press your chest toward your thighs. Lift your heels, look to your hands, and then make your way to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Take ragdoll so your feet are a little wider than your hips. Grab opposite elbows. And let your head drop toward the space between your biceps. You might sway a little here, moving the stretch through the back of your legs, releasing tension through the crown of your head. And if you've got a bind in your arms, gently release it. And then toe heel your feet together. Bring your big toes in until they touch. Extended mountain inhale, stand up, reach up, look up. And then bring your hands to prayer at your heart. This is where we typically pause to create space, or more so, right, notice the space for intention in our practice. So I invite you to look and listen. Is there something you want to anchor your mind on as we move through our mat? I had an intention of sharing some funny jokes. I think we're in pretty serious time, some might say. So I'm going to share some of my favorite yoga jokes. The first one you may have heard. What did the yogi say to the hot dog vendor? Make me one with everything. Take a deep breath in. Open your mouth, let it out. And extended mountain inhale, reach your arms up. Forward fold as you exhale, drop your head, look back behind you. Halfway lift. And then high plank. And high plank, you'll hold for a few breaths. So organize yourself with your wrists under your shoulders. If you want more challenge, take your feet closer. To modify, take your feet a little wider. And then we'll really tap in, right? Baptiste yoga, we've got 5 pillars, your 5 main tools. And the first is your gaze. We call it your drishti. So if you notice, I'm not looking at you, right? You shouldn't be looking at the screen either. Look straight down so that the back of your neck is long. And then Ujjayi, second pillar, second tool is your breath. Breathe through your nose. The third pillar is foundation and center. So your foundation and your hands push up and away from your mat, and then find your center by squeezing your thighs towards each other. Squeeze your glutes, pull your shoulder blades toward your center line. And the fourth pillar is heat, right? So this little bit of heat you're building is on purpose, it's intentional. And it's followed by flow, which is softness. So stay in it, a little bit of rocking, soften your elbows. And flow is bigger than a vinyasa. It's that you're where you're meant to be, right? The energy of giving up fighting, embracing challenge, embracing joy. Lower halfway. Upward facing dog, breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Lift your heels, bend your knees, look forward, step or jump to the top of your mat, halfway lift, and fold. Extended mountain inhale, sweep your arms up, look up, and then forward fold as you exhale, drop your head, look back behind you. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, hands to your mat, step or jump to low push-up. Upward facing dog, breathe in, take your upper arm bone straight back. To downward facing dog, exhale it out. We'll stay for a full breath. And then lift your heels, bend your knees, look forward, step or float. Halfway lift and fold. Extended mountain inhale, sweep up, bigger back bend, press your hips forward, and then forward fold as you exhale, drop your head. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Up dog to down dog. Right away, lift your heels, bend your knees, step or float. Halfway lift and fold. Extended mountain, sweep up, breathe in. Forward fold, exhale, bow. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing to downward facing dog. One more, lift your heels. Bend your knees, step or float. Halfway lift and fold. Extended mountain, sweep it up, reach up. And then forward fold, exhale to bow. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, low push up. Upward facing dog, squeeze your glutes. Downward facing dog, push up and back. Lift your heels. Bend your knees, step or float, top of your mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold. To chair. Chair pose. Sit your hips low, reach your arms up, pull your shoulder blades down your back. Sit your hips lower toward your heels and then pull the pit of your belly up away from your thighs. Sit lower, reach higher, breathe in. Stay, breathe out. All right, set your drishti, your eyes focus at one spot or close your eyes. Breathe Ujjayi through your nose, that breath of fire, breath of victory. If you need to modify, you can bring your hands to your heart, otherwise keep them up. Find your foundation, ground through your heels, hug your thighs together, pull your shoulder blades together in your back. Invite the heat, keep the softness, lift your heels. Breathe, sit low, keep lifting through your heels, keep your eyes at one spot. Lift your heels higher, hover them down. A few more rounds, inhale higher. Exhale, hover. If you're shaky, good. If you're not, get shaky. Inhale, you lift. Exhale, you lower. Drop your heels. Inhale, stand up. Forward fold as you exhale. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, hands to your mat, low push up. Upward facing dog. To downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, warrior one. Draw your right hip toward the back wall and then press down through the outside edge of your left foot behind you. Reach your arms up, but bring your shoulders down. Why couldn't the yogi vacuum in any corners? Because he had no attachments. Lift your arms up, warrior one. Chaturanga, exhale. Up dog to down dog. Left side, warrior one, step your foot forward, come on up.
pull your left hip back, press through the outside of your right foot, tuck your belly in, reach your arms up. Right, you've heard that idea, like there's a bowl of water in your pelvis, keep it neutral. So you're holding your pubic bone up, tucking your tailbone. And then one more inhale, reach up, look up, and chaturanga, exhale, hands down, halfway to up dog, to downward facing dog. Lift your heels, bend your knees, step or float, halfway lift, and fold. Chair pose, breathe in, forward fold, breathe out. Halfway, low push up, upward facing dog, to downward facing dog, right foot forward, warrior. We're not lifting our leg today, go up, reach back, and then chaturanga, hands to your mat, upward facing, to downward facing dog, left side, warrior one, you're using your core, step forward, reach up, chaturanga, hands to your mat, low push up to up dog, to downward facing dog. Lift your heels, bend your knees, step or float, halfway, and fold. Chair pose in, forward fold out, halfway, low push up. Your hands are clawing the mat, get your fingerprints through the heels of your hands, warrior one, right side, step forward, rise up, look up, chaturanga, exhale, upward facing, to downward facing, left side, warrior one, inhale, rise up, reach up, look up, chaturanga, upward facing dog, to downward facing dog. There's one more, lift your heels, bend your knees, step or float, halfway, and fold. Chair pose, hug in, and fold, bow, halfway, chaturanga, upward facing dog, to downward facing dog, warrior one on each side. Use your breath to step and inhale to reach. And chaturanga, your hands go to your mat. Up dog to down dog, left side, warrior one. Sweep up. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Couple breaths. Make me one with everything. Bring your legs together at the back of your mat. Lift your right leg. Bend your knee, stack your hips. Stay or lift your left heel, flip your dog. Remember, we take the variation where both feet face the back wall, so your feet look like wheel. And then you're reaching your right arm toward the floor like wheel. To turn it into wheel, your left fingers start to spin toward the outside of your mat on that left side. And then you can drop in. So from flip dog or wheel, come back over three-legged dog with your right leg high. And then high plank with your right leg lifted. So three-pointed plank, inhale, low push-up, exhale. High plank to low plank. 4 more, high to low, 3, 2, 1. Lower your right foot, side plank on the right side. So pivot to the outside edge of your right foot, stack your body, and look up. So stack your legs or stagger your feet. If you're looking for more challenge, start to lift your left leg up. Even more challenge, what do? You look up. Chaturanga. Chaturanga, upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Bring your legs together at the back of your mat. Lift your left leg. Bend your knees, stack your hips. You can stay or flip your dog. Turn your right palm out, fingers toward the right side of your mat if you're going to go to flip wheel pose. And then all the way around, right, reaching. Or all the way into wheel. Your left hand might touch down. Everybody back around, three-legged dog with your left leg high to a three-pointed plank with your left leg lifted. Stay or 5 push-ups. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Side plank, left side. Left hand down, right side opens. Right, what's your side plank like today? We're getting used to your new digs to practice. Lift up, look up. And then you choose when you're ready, or you fall into it like you did on the other side. Chaturanga, up dog, to down dog. Lift your right leg, crescent lunge. Reach your arms up as you find your feet and your legs. Bring your hands to prayer at your heart. Twist to your right. Let's get the outside of your left tricep to press into the outside of your right knee. And then do your best to stack your forearms so your right elbow points straight up. And then stay there or open your arms, spread your wings. Keep looking higher to make more challenge in your balance, lifting higher off your left toes if you want to challenge your balance even more. And then back to center, crescent lunge to warrior two. So line it up. Your front heel is in line with the arch of your back left foot. And then look out over your right middle finger. Bring your shoulder blades together, turn your right palm up. One inhale, reverse your warrior lunge, and then extended side angle. Bring your right arm down to your right knee, reach your left arm up. I'm gonna turn just for the angle. So you've got your right hand down inside your right knee, left arm reaching up. And then this is where your options continue, right? You can set your hand down toward the ground or a block. You could go for a bind. So the bind, you would spin your left hand away from you behind your right hip. Then your right hand comes underneath, and you see if you can meet. So that's the full bind. Right arm is underneath your hip, left arm twisted behind you, or just half bind. Or if you're looking for it, you've got the bind. Right hand grabbing your left wrist with your right fingers all together. You can take bird of paradise, look down beside your right foot, step your left foot up. And then you want to look down to help yourself balance as you start to lift up. You can lift your chest, draw your right shoulder back, and work here to straighten your right leg. If you're in bird of paradise, work to get your right shoulder back, straighten your leg. And then everyone extended side angle. Inhale, open up, and chaturanga, exhale through. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Left foot forward, crescent lunge. Up we go. Set your eyes, focus your eyes, and your body will follow. And find your feet, build the pose from the ground up. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Inhale, reach high. Prayer twist to the left. So long in your spine. Get the outside of your right elbow against your left knee. And push your forearms together. Try to stack. And option to open. Your arms are open. Spread your fingers like your hands are palming basketballs. Look up. Get your shoulders away from your ears as you squeeze and twist. Back to center, crescent lunge. One breath. To warrior two. Line them up, front heel, back arch. Turn your left palm up, reverse your warrior. An extended side angle. Left elbow starts to float down on your right knee. Reach your right arm up. Keep steering your left hip under your body so your left cheek is going more toward the back of your mat than the left side of your mat. And then what do your arms want to do on this side? Half bind, right hand behind your left hip. Full bind, your left arm comes underneath and reaches for the outside, pinky finger side of your right hand, right wrist. And you can stay in that twisting in the bind. Or if you want bird of paradise, you'd look down and step forward. I'm a little different side to side. You might be too. Just find what feels right to you. Couple more breaths. And then extended side angle if you were in any other variation. Inhale. And chaturanga, exhale through. Up dog to down dog. Lift your heels, bend your knees, step or float, halfway lift, forward fold, to chair. Chair pose. Why did the bagel struggle in yoga? Because he couldn't find his center. All right, we're gonna take a prayer twist to the right. So take a deep breath in, and then twist so that the outside of your left tricep comes to the outside of your right knee. Press your hands together and twist until you see your right elbow point straight up, and then stay there or open your arms, spread your wings. Take your eyes up toward your right hand in the ceiling, spread your fingers, hold that basketball. And then you can stay with both feet on the mat, or if you want more challenge, start to get lighter through your left foot. So take your eyes down if you need to modify, and then you'll start to pick your left foot up, maybe all the way up toward your glute, maybe just lifting your heel, maybe sending it toward the back wall. Breathe. Back to center, both feet down. Inhale, chair, and then prayer twist to your left, outside of your right tricep. Twist through your spine. Bring your thumbs to the center of your chest so you're not torquing your shoulders. And then open your arms. Yeah, keep driving your hips back, hips toward the right side of your mat. You're gonna stretch even more. Just sit back. You'll feel it. Both feet down, or start to get lighter through your right foot. What's that look like on this side? Back to center, chair, and forward fold. Toe heel your feet hips distance for gorilla pose. So you'll bend your knees as much as you need to so that you can slide your hands under your feet and drop your head. Release your hands, goddess pose. Toe heel your feet wide and drop your seat down between your feet. This was where if you had a block at home, you could sit on a block or a big pillow. For me, this stretch feels good, so if it does for you too, just work on using your elbows to drive your knees open wider. You should feel your chest come toward your thumbs more than your upper back is arching, right? It's a heart opener, chest through. Feels like good time. What would you call a bagel who has mastered yoga? A pretzel. Crow pose. Crow pose or goddess pose. Crow, hands to the mat. Why not try it, right? If you're at home and you fall, tree falls in the wood, no one sees it. Did it fall? Did you fall, right? You tell us or not. So hands down, spread your fingers, claw them down. And then start to stack your elbows over your wrists and your eyes go forward, right? Your drishti. Start to bring your feet up towards each other, inside edges of your feet together, lifting through your pit of your belly. Breathe. And chaturanga, option to shoot your feet back, low push-up, upward facing dog, to downward facing dog. Lift your heels, bend your knees, step or float. Halfway lift, forward fold, to chair. Now we move into the part of the sequence called Equanimity. It's our balancing series. We'll start with eagle pose. So eagle on the right side, I'll mirror you, cross your right leg over your left, and then cross your right arm under your left arm. See if you can spin your hands toward touching, and then lift your elbows up and away from your face as you sit your hips down. You want to try to wrap your foot as best you can. I've got a little bit of a weak ankle on this side, so you'll see on the other side a little stronger, or hopefully you won't, and you're just paying attention to what's happening on your mat. So squeeze your legs together, lift your elbows as you drop your shoulders, eyes go up past your fingertips. And unwrap your legs, unwrap your arms. Inhale, reach up, look up. Eagle on the left side. Cross your left leg over, your left arm under, and spin your hands toward touching. So again, the goal is to try to wrap your legs as much as is possible for you. And then your elbows can lift up as your shoulders and your hips sink down. Right? Can you find the strength in your shakiness? Can you find the humor in the tough time? Right? Make me one with everything. Release it. Reach your arms up, look up. Eagle again, right side, right leg over, right arm under, wrap it up. Sit back as you lift up and breathe. Unwrap your legs, unwrap your arms, reach up, look up. And eagle on the other side, last leg over, left arm under, and you wrap. And if this is no good in your arms, I should have said this earlier, you can also take opposite elbow, right? Like you're making a basket in your arms, shoulders back, elbows up. That's what's going to create that sensation of the stretch in your traps. And release. Shake it out any way you want. Great job. All right, so next let's take this into a standing balancing pose of tree pose. So feet on 12 o'clock, soften your knees. Get to that neutral place in your pelvis, right? Lift your low belly, tuck your tailbone, open your palms and spread your fingers. Start to shift more weight over into your right leg, and you'll take your left foot somewhere along the inside of your right leg. So right foot down, left foot lifted, bring your hands to prayer, and then reach your arms up over your head. Drop your shoulder blades. Yeah, see if you can squeeze your right glute up toward the center of your body, and then open your left knee even more. Bring both arms up by your ears, your knee toward your chest, and then warrior three. So you'll kick your left foot back, reach your arms forward, and like your palms are facing each other, now you're holding that basketball in front of you. Bring your chest down toward the front of your right leg. Keep lifting your left foot up toward the ceiling. Lifting, 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 split your hips, and then stay or balancing half moon with your right hand down and your left side open. For balancing half moon, you want to try to stack your body as best you can. Lift through the pinky toe side of your left foot up in the air. Push down through the inside of your right foot beneath you. Pull that strength up your thigh. Back to standing split. Hug your chest. Even hands, maybe pull your chest toward your right leg. And you can stay, or if you practice handstands, right hands come down. Rome wasn't built in a day. You just practice little hops. Look forward, try to land right where you lifted up from, and eventually you'll get more time in the air, or you can hug in for 3, for 2, and standing forward, fold, lower your left foot. And you'll meet in mountain pose. Okay, back to center. Feet on 12 o'clock, ground down. And then switch your weight to the other leg. So now you're going to ground into your left foot, and your right foot comes up somewhere to the inside of your foot, or your ankle, or your thigh. Again, a little side than the other, and that is okay. Lift through your sternum, drop your shoulders. Option arms up, shoulders down and back. And then bring your right knee up toward your chest and send it back behind you. You can do warrior 3 again, reaching forward, or airplane, arms along your sides. So arms along your sides for airplane, your palms face down. You'll start to lift your right foot up, send your heel to the back wall. Breathe. There you go, you guys saying it longer. Hug it in. And then you'll bring your chest down toward your left leg. Keep lifting your right foot up toward the ceiling. Up, 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 opening your hips until balancing half moon with your left hand down and your right side open. You'll stack, lift. See if you can look up. Back to standing splits. If you want to play with a bound half moon or something instead of this part, go ahead. Otherwise, hug in toward your left leg. Keep kicking your right foot high, or hands to your mat. You might practice your handstand hops. Claw down and lift up. Just trying to get that little bit of air time landing gently from where you lifted up. And soon we will all meet in forward fold. 3, 2, and 1. And toe heel your feet together, big toes touch. Extended mountain. Inhale, reach up. And forward fold, exhale, bow. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, hands down, up dog. To down dog. Right foot forward, warrior two. Straighten your right leg. Triangle pose, reach forward. Tuck your right hip under your body. And then right hand down to the outside of your shin, your ankle, your block. Peel your heart open, look up toward your left hand. And then spread your fingers, bring your left shoulder blade down your back. Push down through the inside of your right foot, the outside of your right foot, and then the outside of your left foot behind you. Can you lean back more? And then pyramid pose. So you can lift up or fold down. If you're not sure, lift up. And then hands to your hips, step your left foot up, enough that both feet can ground down into the mat, so both heels are down. Pull your right hip back, inhale. And then fold, exhale, pyramid pose. So chest toward your right leg. Hands come down to the ground or blocks. I like a little massage to the back of my leg in this pose. But something where you can ground down, push down, so you can pull your right hip up and back. Look at your left ankle. Stay or add a twist with your left hand down, your right arm twists open for twisting triangle. Look up toward your right hand. Pull your right hip back. Like you could balance a block on your sacrum right atop the top of your hips. And then hands down if you took the twist. Both hands on your mat, step both feet back and find a vinyasa. To downward facing dog. Left foot forward, warrior two, left side. Straighten your left leg. Triangle pose, reach, and then left hand toward the outside of your legs. Stack your shoulders. Look up at your right hand. So this is a stretch for the inside of your left leg. Feel this in your thigh, strengthening the muscles of your legs. Engage your thigh muscles, your glutes. And open your chest. Get more confidence as you lean your right shoulder back. And pyramid pose. Chest toward your left leg, option to lift on the way. And then fold over your left leg. For more stretch, you'll feel it more if you press down through the inside edges of your feet and then press into the center of both heels. Yeah, left leg, steer it up and back toward the back wall. And then stay or twisting triangle. So to a block or your fingerprints, either way, there's length in your spine. You inhale, and then right hand down, left side, twist open. Pulling my left hip back, checking in. Could I balance a block on my back instead of lifting up through my left hip? Send it back. And then hands to your mat. Step it all back. Vinyasa. To downward facing dog. To child's pose. And now we've arrived at our backbending series. This part of the practice in Baptiste Yoga is called igniting. And the fire that we create here in our bodies is meant to transform our lives. My favorite analogy, they say, like heat can transform an egg, turn it into something else. The heat, the fire that you create on your mat can transform you. So let's get started. Let's fire it up. Please, from child's pose, lift up and make your way to bridge pose. So however it is you choose to get there, you'll come around with your seat on your mat and your feet facing forward. In Baptiste Yoga, there are some other back bends that happen from your belly before this, but I don't like those, and I'm practicing with you today, so I choose to skip those, and we're going to come right into bridge pose. So we're going to do a total of 5 back bends, bridge or wheel, or a combination of both, or go straight through all of it. You've got the option for a block to get a support underneath you. I'm done talking. Let's get back bending, bridge pose. On your back, bring your heels toward your hips and your hips toward your heels, arms along your sides. Lift your hips up. So lift your hips up, up, up until you can bring your shoulders more underneath your back, and then you see, can you interlace your fingers underneath you? Push your arms down into the mat to lift your chest up even higher, and then push into your feet, lift your hips. Yeah, if your fingers are interlaced, can you bring the heels of your hands together? Does that change it? Can you get your shoulders even more underneath you to lift your chest higher toward the ceiling? And then one more inhale, lift up higher, and then slowly release and lower down. Knees toward your chest or whatever you do in between sides. And again, you can do any of these with blocks. They've taken the blocks away at TAC. We're serious about these germs, and I forgot mine. So no supported bridge for me. Bridge or wheel, come on up. Wheel pose, fingers by your shoulders. Come on up, straight arms. So a lot of people, when you're newer to wheel, you want to start with your fingers facing out. So your fingers are maybe even off your mat besides your first finger and your thumb. See how that feels with your hands real wide. Everybody lift up higher and then slowly lower. Tuck your chin if you're coming from wheel and bring your back flat. Little rock side to side. That was 2. And remember, we'll do 5. So feet come down, bridge or wheel. Take a couple different variations to show you. Come back to bridge for me. Take whatever one you choose. This is 3 of 5. And then this time, squeeze your thighs together like you're squeezing a block between your thighs. Push down through the bottoms of both feet really evenly. And then start to push more into the bottom of your right foot. Can you lift your left foot heel up all the way toward the ceiling? Now stay or lift your right heel, and we're going to pulse it for 5, 4, 3, 2. Right heel stays high. 1, up. Lower your left foot. Lift your right foot. Same side. We'll pulse it. Keep your left heel up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down to your back. 2 more, bridge or wheel. Come on up, lift up. Other options for wheel, right? You can work on lifting a leg from your wheel pose. Maybe you're working on straightening your legs. This is called reverse plank. You want to press the inside edges of your feet together with your legs straight. Everybody lift up and then lower down. Okay, and then the last one, right? You make it happen. You make it bigger, or you grab your block. What was it? Why'd the bagel struggle? Couldn't find his center. You've got yours. Come on up. Up we go, pretzels. Ground down and hug in so you can lift up. Keep that in your body. Ground down, hug in, lift up. 3 more. Inhale, up. Stay, exhale. 2 more. Inhale, up. Stay, exhale. Last one, inhale up. Stay, exhale. At the bottom of that exhale, lower down. Knees toward your chest, little rock. And then bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees open wide. Supta Baddha Konasana. Reclining butterfly pose. Happy baby. Reach for the outsides of your feet as you drive your knees toward your shoulders. Your legs go wide, and then you can keep your knees bent or press your heels. More of a straddle stretch. You could grab your big toe. Sometimes I like to hold my heels. Push down into your sacrum in the back of your head. That's the base of your spine, whether your legs are straight or bent. Bring your knees toward your chest. Give them a big squeeze. And now we've reached the part of the practice called stability. That's Baptiste yoga for core. So we'll do a little bit of abs. Take the bottoms of your feet up toward the ceiling. And take your hands behind your head, elbows wide. Flex your feet so your toes point towards you. And then push your low belly down into your back. And be sure that your low back is grounded down toward your mat. Breathe in. And then start to lower your right heel toward the mat. Keep it hovering. Lift your head and shoulders. Keep your legs like you've got them. We're just going to pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay here. Extend your left leg out to meet your right. Pause. Scissor your legs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now send your right foot back up. Flex your feet. Pulse it out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right leg to left. Left foot up. Pulse it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it here. Hold it. Keep pulsing. Little baby pulses now, even bigger from the bottom. 5, 4 from the top. 3, 2, 1. Left leg out. Right leg up. Last time. 5, 4, 3, 2. And then stay baby pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Hug your knees in. Little rock side to side. And then bring your fingers behind your head. Lift your elbows. Take your knees to 90 degrees. And we're going to go bicycles. So opposite elbow, opposite knee. We're off for 50, 49. I won't count the whole time out loud, but I'll count in my head. $20. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo, and rest. Take the soles of your feet up toward the ceiling. Take your hands underneath your sacrum. Palms face down. Lift your head and shoulders. There you go. So pull your belly button toward your spine. Push your low back into your hands, into the floor. Breathe in. And then start to lower your heels about a third of the way down and pause. Lower another third of the way down and pause. And then go as low as you can. Keep looking past your belly button. Pull it toward your spine and scissor your legs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then slowly take them back up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We do it again. Flex your feet. Lift your head and shoulders. Start to lower. Breathe out. Pause halfway or a third of the way. And then lower another third. Pause. Belly button to your spine. Lower as low as you can. Flutter kick your feet. Point your toes. Flutter kick your feet. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Flex your feet. Flutter kick. 8, 7, 5, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then slowly up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. Lift your head. Flex your feet. Lower your heels. Third of the way. Pause. Lower another third of the way. Pause. Go as low as you can. Heels together. Tap your heels. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tap your toes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Scissor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kick. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Rock and roll. Forward and back. All the way to downward facing dog. From down dog, lift your right leg. Right leg comes forward. Half pigeon pose. So sit high first so you can really drop your hips low. If you want to play with bringing your foot more forward toward the left corner of your mat, you're just moving the stretch in your right hip. And then forward and down through your chest. Just check in. What was the intention that you set earlier, if you set one? How's your body feeling in this shape? I taught a cat yoga class one time. There were cats running around to be adopted, and came up with some good cat jokes. So my favorite, it might not be a yoga joke, but from cat yoga class. Why was the kitten so small? Because it only drank condensed milk. Soften your shoulders, soften your face. Let's breathe. A few more breaths if you want to stay in that variation. I know sometimes we work a tall chest variation of half pigeon here, so if you want to do that today, go ahead and lift your chest. And then bring your right hand more to bring center to your body, so your hips lower, your chest lifts, and then reach your left hand back for your left foot. And reach, if you are, for the inside, the big toe side of your left foot with your left hand. And your thumb faces up, so your heel toward your left glute, looking forward again toward the front of your room. And you can stay. Your next step is going to be to bring your left foot into your left elbow. And then you'll be able to lift your chest higher. Eventually, right hand can reach up. Lots of different shapes we can make, but the foundation starts with squaring your hips. Okay, when you're ready, switch sides. You know, that can look like different things for different people. Whatever you need could look like a different thing for you each day, right? Just get to a useful space for your body on your mat. And see where else it might show up, these moments of feeling useful. Sometimes I'm like cleaning my room, doing all the laundry that I can right now, I think, to feel like I'm successful because I'm not able to be out to be doing my job. Right, so what is it that you can control in your body, the way it's shaped, in the pose, your breath, and your mind? What do you think about when it gets quiet? You can stay with your chest reclining toward the ground, or you might lift up. If you're reaching back for your right foot, it would be your right hand. You know, sometimes people reach across the body, but this is much safer for your shoulder. And it also sets you up for the beautiful next step of that right foot into your right elbow. Eventually your arm might reach up. Pose can even go beyond. And your next pose together is a seated forward fold. So coming over onto your left cheek, or however you choose to come to your legs extended toward the top of your mat, the muscle from your sit bones. Got another good joke. Why is the apple so good at yoga? Because she's got a really great core. Reach your arms up and hinge forward. So in forward folds, you want to bring your crown of your head forward on your inhale so your spine is lengthening. And when you exhale, your chest and your elbows fold toward the floor. Inhale, you lengthen. Exhale, you fold. Okay, and then next for you is a seated shoulder stand. Shoulder stand is next. So you can take lots of variations for shoulder stand. You can lie with your back flat on the ground and your hands like you were doing before for core, but we're just going to keep the legs lifted. If you've got a block and you want to block under your body, go ahead and set the block there. If you're coming up for shoulder stand, what you want to do is start to rock your hips over your shoulders and then bring your hands to your back and bring your elbows towards each other. So your elbows walk in, you're able to press your hips forward, start to stack your knees, and then take your feet up toward the ceiling. Take your eyes past your toes, and if you're active in the pose, squeeze your glutes. Yeah, now cross your right ankle in front of your left ankle and see if you can lift up even higher. Feet toward the ceiling, eyes toward the sky. Look, keep your neck neutral, don't look at me. And then cross opposite ankle in front. See if you can lift up even higher. If you took it, go up. And then take your feet parallel. Keep your feet up, or plow pose. Your feet start to lower toward the space behind you. For plow, you can take your hands back by your toes. That's one option. For more of a stretch in your shoulders, interlace your fingers and take your arms away from you like you did in bridge. Heels of your hands can be open or together. It's going to change the way that stretch feels. Both legs can be straight or bent toward your ears. You might even reach around, grab your knees toward your ears. And then you'll release it either all the way back up to shoulder stand, or down one vertebra at a time. When your legs go long, take your arms over your head, take a full body stretch. And then arms along your sides. Bring your right knee in toward your chest. Circle your right ankle. Wiggle the toes on your right foot. And then take a twist. Cross your right knee over to the left side of your body. Goalpost your arms or whatever you need to do so that your arms can feel heavy. And you'll drop your chin toward your right shoulder to stretch more, or to the left for a little bit less. And then back through center onto your back. Whether both legs go straight or in, eventually you just hold your left leg, knee to your chest, circle your ankle, wiggle your toes. And take your left knee to the right, spinal twist. And release to your back for Shavasana, for your final resting pose. Whatever you need to feel comfortable, no one is rushing you to stillness. Traditionally in Shavasana, your legs are long and at least as wide as your mat. And we lie with the palms facing up so that your shoulders can tuck under your chest. So your lungs can be open to make your breath as easeful as possible, and so that energetically we stay open to receive. Bring your awareness into your feet and your ankles. Relax your legs through your waist, your hips, and your pelvis. So your lower half of your body is completely relaxed. Feel the rise and the fall of your breath in your belly and your chest. And for the next few breaths, see if that can be the most interesting thing you can find, right? That rise and the fall, the rhythm of your breath. The next few moments we'll spend quietly. So I invite you to keep your mind anchored in those sensations of your body. Invite yourself to relax or to stay in this space of rhythm with your breath, meditating on your inhales and your exhales. Or the space of intention if you set one earlier, right? Connecting to something bigger. One breath at a time. Just a few more moments of Shavasana if you want to stay on your back or roll slowly towards one side. Be very intentional in what you're thinking about. This time of social distancing, of isolation, let this time be useful. Start to breathe a little bit deeper. Find some gentle movement if you haven't yet. And in your next several breaths, begin to make your way towards your seat. I didn't believe that yoga would change my posture, but I stand corrected. Another joke. Make your way to seated, sitting tall. Relax your shoulders, relax your face. Strengthen your intention. A few more rounds of breath. Why are you here? Take a deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth, exhale, let it out. One more inhale. One more exhale. Bring your thumb knuckles to the space between your eyebrows, inviting in light and love and jokes and all things good. Together we bow. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me. 2 more jokes I didn't get through. Which kind of car is the best at doing yoga? Mercedes-Benz. And then the last one, knock, knock, who's there? Yoga. Yoga who? You'll gotta try this. It feels amazing. Thank you again for the chance to come out to practice with you. And take care. Thank you again for being such a part of the TAC community.